Asteroids. Asteroid, sometimes known as a minor planet or planetoid, is any of a variety of tiny bodies with a diameter of 1,000 kilometers, 600 miles, or less that orbit the Sun, especially in the asteroid belt, a nearly flat ring located between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Asteroids are also referred to as minor planets due to their tiny size and abundance when compared to the major planets. Although the terms asteroid and designation have been used interchangeably, the latter is more familiar to the general public. Scientists typically refer to objects with dynamically fascinating orbits that are being studied individually or in groups as minor planets, whilst those who examine the physical aspects of such objects typically refer to them as asteroids. The main culturally imposed difference between asteroids and meteoroids, which share the same origin, is size. The term meteoroid is frequently used to refer to asteroids that are a few tens of meters across and smaller, although this can vary depending on context, such as whether they are thought of as objects orbiting in space, asteroids, or as objects that could collide with a spacecraft, planet, or other relatively large body, meteoroids. Astronomer Giuseppe Piazzi made the first asteroid discovery on January 1, 1801, in Palermo, Italy. Piazzi initially believed he had found a comet, but after computing the object's orbital elements, it was revealed that the object really traveled in a planet-like orbit between Mars and Jupiter. Piazzi was only able to observe the item until February 11 due to illness. Even though the discovery was covered by the media, Piazzi did not publish the full set of his observations until months after sharing specifics of his observations with a select group of astronomers. Some astronomers did not believe in the discovery at all since the limited arc of observations did not allow computation of an orbit with sufficient accuracy to anticipate where the object would return as it traveled back into the night sky. The situation might have remained unchanged if that object hadn't been found at the heliocentric distance predicted by Bode's law of planetary distances, which was put forth in 1766 by German astronomer Johann D. Titius and popularized by his fellow countryman Johann E. Bode, who used the scheme to advance the theory of a missing planet between Mars and Jupiter. One of the strongest arguments for the validity of Bode's rule was the discovery of the planet Uranus in 1781 by the British astronomer William Herschel at a distance that closely matched the distance predicted by Bode's equation. Some astronomers were so sure that they decided to launch a systematic search during an astronomy meeting in 1800. Ironically, Piazzi wasn't involved in that search for the lost planet. However, based on the initial orbit, Bode and others thought Piazzi had located it before losing it. Due to this, the German mathematician Carl Friedrich Gauss devised a method in 1801, which has not undergone substantial advancement since, for determining the orbit of minor planets with only a few measurements. The orbital components calculated by Gauss demonstrated that the object did, in fact, move in an orbit resembling a planet between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Franz von Zach, a German-Hungarian astronomer who ironically had suggested conducting a systematic search for the lost planet, rediscovered Piazzi's object on December 7, 1801, using Gauss's predictions. On January 2, 1802, German astronomer Wilhelm Olbers made a separate discovery of it. Asteroids are still given their discoverers' names today, thanks to Piazzi, who gave that object the name Ceres in honor of the ancient Roman grain goddess and patroness of Sicily, in contrast to comets, which are named for their discoverers.